hinder you. Don't you let where you've been hinder you. Don't let what they've said hinder you. Don't you let your past hinder you. You're a woman without limits. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. A woman without limits. Yes, you are. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. There's nothing the enemy can do to stop what God has for you. You're a woman without limits. Woman, 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 woman without limits. Na 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 na. Woman without limits. Woman.
Yes, c'est Pastor Cappy and Chevelle Franklin. Brand new song we are sing to the King. I never, never, never give up on God.
Never give up on God.
Yeah, yeah, me never, never.
Never give up on God. Never give up on God. He's able to deliver you.
Never, never,
Never
never.
give up on God. Never give up on God. Never give up on God. He's able to deliver you.
Wakikutupa kwa tundu la simba,
Atafunga midomo zao.
wakiongeza moto mara 7,
Ataingia awe nawe.
wakirusha mishale ya maneno,
Usiogope, Mungu yu nawe.
ukizingirwa na adui pande zote.
Never, never give up.
Never give up on God.
Sing on, yeah, yeah.
Never give up on God. He's able to deliver you. Never give up on God. Never give up on God. Never give up on God. He's able to deliver you.
Kumbuka matunda yakiliwa ni lazima yakatwe. Kumbuka mafuta yakitengezwa lazima yafinywe. Anaandaa meza yako mbele ya adui wote. Kumbuka matunda yakiliwa ni lazima yakatwe.
Keep on believing.
Kumbuka mafuta yakitengezwa lazima yafinywe.
Don't lose no hope, yeah.
Anaandaa meza yako mbele ya adui
That's
wote.
right. Yes, yes, yes. I'm say God is not a man that him a go lie. Be not afraid. Keep hope alive. Your future is bright. Be not afraid. Exercise your faith. He will never be late. Rebuke your unbelief. Stand still, it's worth the wait. More than enough. Jesus, he will ever be. Trust and obey. You ready, got the victory.
Usikate tamaa.
And so we pick you up for a night. By your joy, it's coming in a morning light.
Akisema anatenda, usikufe moyo.
Be strong.
Don't you give up on God.
Never, never, never give up on God. Never give up, never give up, never give up.
Hold on to the mighty word.
Never give up on God.
Never give.
Never give up on God.
So never, never give up.
Never give up on God.
Yeah, yeah, me never give up.
Able to deliver you.
Usitie shaka.
Never, never give
Never
up.
give up on God.
No, 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 no.
Never give up on
Usikate
God.
tamaa.
He's a
Good evening, viewers. You are welcome to Woman Without Limits. My name is Reverend Kiuna, and I'm delighted that you tuned in tonight. I know that the Word of God is about to turn your life around. You're about to get blessed. Now, Woman Without Limits is a program that comes every Sunday, and we bring diverse women. We bring all manner of women. And what do they come to do? To let us know that they have been somewhere and have been gotten out of there by the grace of God, and you too can come out. I always say you are a woman without limits, and only you can limit yourself. Nobody has a right to take a hold of your life and direct you into some quagmire or some pity party, feeling sorry for yourself. Only you have that right. And you know what you need to do? To allow God to take charge over your life. You were created for a purpose. And so every story has been amazing, and we want to thank you for all the feedback that you give us. We really appreciate every call, every text message, every email. We really do appreciate, and we know that we truly are affecting your lives. Now, my mandate is to go all over raising up the standard among women. And may your standard be raised today as you get to understand that you are that woman without limits. Today we have a guest. Amazing guest. And you know what? She has such a nice name. Catherine. Her name is Catherine Ndereba. We know her as a marathon runner. Amazing woman. She was born right here in Nyeri, and she's going to tell us how Kikuyu running, we all know Kalenjin running, so she's going to let us know how it all came about. And then she is the first woman to win the Boston Marathon 4 times. Read, count, 4 times the Boston Marathon. The only woman. And the Chicago Tribune call her Catherine the Great. That's a good one. I can borrow that. And Nganga Mbogwa called her Catherine the Marathoner Queen. And while at home, she is a wife, a mother, a sister, and we want to find out where this woman is coming from. I mean, she is petite, like petite can be, but what she has done in life, oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. So we want to know how she became Catherine Ndereba that everybody knows. Would you please help me welcome her on set? It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Are you comfortable?
I'm really comfortable. Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Everybody knows you as the marathoner and as Catherine Ndereba, that has such a big, wonderful name in this land and in other nations. So tell us your background. Where are you coming from?
Well, Catherine Ndereba. I come from Nyeri. And first of all, I would love to say that yes, Catherine Ndereba, I'm a born-again Christian.
Wow.
And I love the Lord as my personal Savior.
Yes.
I could not be the kind of a person I am today without the Lord.
Amen.
So all the glory and honor, I give it back to the Lord.
Amen.
Because I know I'm a testimony of what the Lord can do and for what He will continue to do.
Amen.
Catherine Ndereba come from a place called Nyeri. I was born in a small village by name Gatunganga by 2 lovely and beautiful people, Mr. Joseph Ndereba and Felista Gadoni. I was their 3rd born child, and I have 9 other siblings.
9?
Yes.
Okay. So that makes out 10?
Yes.
Okay.
So 9 of us living. So we lost our youngest brother when he was 9 back in the year 1997.
Okay.
Out of leukemia. And I have 4 sisters and 4 brothers.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. How was your growing up?
My growing up, well, I was brought up in a kind of middle kind of life. Yes.
Okay.
And I went to school in primary called Kahiraine.
Okay.
those were the times that nursery school, it wasn't a must. As much as you could be able to close, to make your arm close
touch the ear.
and you touch the ear like this.
Oh my, you guys
That
don't
was
know.
fun.
You guys don't know anything, eh?
Yeah.
You were born yesterday .com. By the way, we used to be told to touch. If your hand touches the ear, even if you are 4,
Yeah.
that's okay.
You're good enough to go for class 1.
Yeah.
So I'm that kind of a person.
Yeah.
So, and I knew how to write. I could write my full name, but I could not do the R in the way it is supposed to be. So I used to write it downwards, yeah? But that was the only correction that now the teacher could correct.
Yeah.
And I was grateful, yeah.
So the R, you
Yeah.
would do it this
I
way.
could write my name,
Yeah.
Ndereba, the R's went upside down.
Yeah.
So, and well, I loved the school.
Right.
And what really made me not to go to school, I came to realize when I was so grown. Yeah, in fact, I was a mother by then. And I came to learn this with my parents.
Right.
Because whenever my mom could go out for, working in the farm and all that, I was the babysitter.
Oh.
Yes.
For your other siblings.
Yes, I was a babysitter.
Yeah.
Because our first born brother went to nursery school. My the second born sister went to school, went to nursery school. So in that family, I was the only person who didn't go for nursery school.
Yes.
And that's how I missed it. So it was for a good cause, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't complain because I don't feel like I missed a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, what I missed by that time is that uji that the kids used to have at the nursery school. Yes. I believe you had it.
As we used to have the milk.
The milk.
You know that we were given milk.
Really?
Hello.
Oh my
As
God.
we were Nairobi people. Uchi. We were given a packet of milk by Moi. President Moi, very nice man. He gave, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
person used to receive a packet of milk for break. So we never used to carry break for what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I started having the milk when I was in 3rd grade. So yeah, 3rd
Yeah.
grade. Yeah.
Right.
Where they could bring that huge packet,
Yes.
and you could share like 3 kids.
Okay.
Then we used to go with the cups. You fill your cups.
To
and-
share.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, so I went to Kairaini Primary School, and I managed to go from class 1 up to class 8. Then later I joined Golano Secondary School. It was a day school by then. I could not get to the school that I qualified for, just because my dad could not be able to raise the school fees, and having my elder sister in school, also in a provincial school, it was kind of a stress. Yeah.
So somebody
But
had to
that
like
could not-
sacrifice.
Yeah, but that could not, make me not to go to school. So I went for a day school for Form 1 and Form 2. Then for Form 3, my elder sister had already gotten out of high school. So I joined now. My school started boarding section. So I got lucky. I didn't have to move from one school to another. So we started boarding from there.
Were your other siblings in the same school?
No, not really. I
Right.
was the only person in that school, and my elder sister was in another school. So after secondary school, I just decided I just want to run. But I wanted to continue being in that secondary school.
Right.
But unfortunately, I had my other siblings
Yeah.
who really, when I finished Form 4, they had already concluded class 8. So come the following year, they had to go for Form 1. Now my sister who is after me and the brother who is after her.
Right.
So I really wanted to go back to Form 3. Why? Just because I want to run for the school.
Okay. So tell us how the running started. How did you think about running anyway?
Well,
Yeah.
I started running just like any other kid. From Saturday 4, we could do those inter-houses. And, having my sibling in the same school, the primary school, we are all in the same primary school. So we were in different houses. So when the athletic season comes, we could have a good competition. Now, like me, between my other sisters, so we could compete against each other. So because I'm running for my house, they're running for their house
Right.
also. So, and I used to beat all of them. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when I
Yeah.
got to class 5, I started representing my school in the athletic competition.
Right.
And the event that I loved so much was cross country, because of the sceneries. You know, the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like the track
Yo,
whereby you
Can
have
the
to
ones
go.
you're running away from. She wanted to run to those ones.
Yeah.
Wow. The
It's
up and down.
The up and downs, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my praise was somehow hilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I loved it.
Yeah.
And I got used to it. So I started representing my school, and I thank God for my teachers, because they were my motivators. Every time I go to represent my school, I could come back to the school, and they give me a lot of tokens.
Right.
Yeah, they could give me a lot of books. I could go at the headmaster's office, and by the time I'm leaving his office, I have books like this, Yeah, and by
So
that
they-
time,
yeah.
many people were buying their own books. So me, I didn't have to buy. So
Oh.
I had enough even to share with my siblings. And also I could get the pencils,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
as prizes for the winning.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. Yeah, my sports teacher called Mr. Minor, he could tell me, even before the event, he could go like, Catherine, if you go and get us just the top 3,
Yeah.
we
be
have
fine.
something for you. We have something for you.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
they keep on motivating me.
Right.
And I liked it.
Right.
Yeah, so I knew it was not for nothing. So after getting that position, once I come back to school, in fact, I was like, oh, when MAD comes, I'll have to get something,
Yeah. So you were really eager.
Yeah, I was really looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
right.
Yeah, and I could run the best I can, and but it wasn't easy, because I still, when you want to do something good, there is always those forces,
Yes, of
that-
course, against you.
Yeah, against
Yeah,
you, that
yeah.
discourages you.
Right.
Yeah, some of my classmates didn't like it, so they kind of talk ill about me and about my learning and all that, until they go like, oh, she just learned because they cannot afford a bread and a soda,
Oh.
after the race, they
To
could feed us.
discourage you and
Yeah, they could
discredit
feed
you.
us with
Yeah.
they treat us like special.
Yeah.
They could give us they have bread and a soda.
Mm.
The Fanta, those times.
And by the way, it is still sweet till now. Oh my, there is nothing like bread and Fanta.
I'm
Jesus,
telling
my God. Hey, after this, I think I'll treat myself. And by the way, Catherine, I think it's the name. Do you know I used to run for my school?
Really? Oh my
Dangerously.
goodness.
I ran all the way to the stadium, city stadium. And my father, I was now supposed to go and run in Mombasa.
Yeah.
And my father said, "Gotengera."
Oh my goodness.
Kohanyuka.
Eh.
Like, what will that help you with? And he totally discouraged me. I stopped.
Don't tell me.
By now, we would be together. We would be
For
telling the
sure, yeah. My dear. We could be running Boston Marathon together.
When they say you won 4, they will also say, I won 8.
I'm telling you. Or even 2 or 3. But after all, yeah. Yeah.
So you had encouragers to encourage you.
Yeah.
And then you'd get the half bread and
And
Fanta.
the Fanta.
Right.
So I didn't care.
Yeah.
Myself,
You
I
talk
just
what you want.
Yeah, I just loved it. So whenever the athletic season comes, I was just at the front.
Waiting,
Yes,
yeah.
just at the front.
Right.
There was, when I was in class 5, none of the girls in that school could beat me. None.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was that competitive. And in my class,
Yeah.
when the teacher could ask us to go out and learn, yeah, we could do like a relay, kind of. So now, the boys versus girls, I always used to finish the race for the girls.
Yes.
And I was that aggressive
Yeah.
because I could not let the boy go. Yes, I had to win for the girls. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to have it for the girls.
Right.
Yes.
So they loved you, the ones who loved you,
Yeah.
because you were. But it's amazing that every person who has a gift, something inside of them, they must be fought.
Definitely.
The devil must fight you left, right, and center.
Yeah, and you'll be called names
Yeah.
and, you know, all sorts of names.
Right.
But that was none of my business. You know, if you call me crazy,
That's okay.
I don't look crazy.
Yeah.
I know that there is nothing missing.
Yes.
And when somebody calls me crazy,
Yeah.
out of what I love to do,
Right.
out of passion,
Actually, they're the crazy ones.
I don't care.
Yeah.
In fact, even I don't even fight back.
Right.
I just leave you there and I keep on.
Yes.
Yeah.
You keep running.
If you keep on, you know,
Wow.
coming back to me and keep on singing those names, like when I was in high school, I got a name. My nickname was Crazy Catherine.
For real?
Yes, that was my name. Even in my village, the women could talk about it to my parents, and they could tell my mother, you know, just try to look at her closely. As if my mom
Catherine,
doesn't
please stop
understand
it.
me.
What?
Yeah.
Like she's missing out something.
Yeah, something is not all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a missing nut.
There is a missing nut.
What?
Yeah.
So you would ignore all that talk and just.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they could even stop me on the way. You know, my craziness,
Yeah.
they could see it right away after high school. Because after high school, I had this kind of thirst that nothing could quench it. Because in the morning, I could wake up, go out and learn. By that time, I didn't have good learning attires.
Yes.
But that was none of my business. I had to put on my lap loud and my broomer. We used to call them broomer. You know those shorts with the elastic here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I still have it.
Eh.
I still have it because it reminds me where I have
Where
come
you've come from.
Yes.
So you would put the bloomers and run.
I every morning
This is too interesting.
and every evening, I had to put my broomer.
Yeah.
Then I put my green lap loud with a white kind of a strip down there.
Right.
And I could go out and learn. I didn't have a stopwatch, but I had a disco watch. We used to call them disco. You
Yes,
remember
yes,
those times?
yeah.
I had a disco kind of watch.
Yeah.
And since it could not, you know, it was not a good stopwatch, I could just look at it like this. Now it's 6.
Right.
Some minutes past 6. And
Yeah.
let's say I want to run for an hour. I tell myself I need to get back here by 7. You know? Yeah. And that's how I used to do. I do it in the morning and I do it in the evening.
On a daily basis.
Yes.
Catherine, are you serious?
Without a coach, without anything. Even by that time, I didn't know what is a coach and what is their business. So I just went out and learned. And you see, my grandmother, she could say, "Oh my God, how can you learn? You mean you want to run like your dad?" Okay, fine. I had never had my parents talking about it.
That your dad used to run?
Yeah, but my grandmother could look at me and she say, "Oh, I think you're going to run like your father."
Right.
Okay, I didn't get much about it. Now when I started running abroad, you know, when the
Tell
media
us now how
people
you
could
started.
come.
Now, what do you mean? Now you're running in Nyeri, up and down the hills. And then they started to recognize you?
So what happened?
Yeah.
You know, after that, I had to join the Kenya prisons in 1994. I concluded my Form 4 in 1993. Come the following year in August, I went to try to run the competitions now we normally call them track meets. They are held every year. And they are held like from every province, and they start like from division, then they go to district, then they go to the provincial competitions. So before they come for interprovincial, we call them nationals, and they are normally held at Kasarani. And if they are for cross country, we used to have them in Gong Race Course, but nowadays we are doing them in Uhuru Gardens.
Right.
Yeah. So, come 1994, I had to go for my first cross country in Gong Race Course. I was top 6 in the whole country.
Wow.
And that's how I started joining now the national team. So I went for residential training, and after a month and some weeks, unfortunately, I didn't make it to go out where the cross country was going for the world cross country. So I got dropped. Just because nobody knew me before. You know, like, they could ask me, like,
Who are you?
Who are you? Where did you
coming
run?
from?
You
Yeah.
know, I was a new, I was a new person in a new whatever.
Environment.
Yeah,
That's
so-
only new Nyeri.
Yeah, they could not believe in me, that is. So I just went back home and I started training again. Then by that time, I had already known some staff from Kenya prisons. They were working at Kingongo. And I kind of, you know, make some bonds with them. They loved me, and they could see the potential in me, but I could not tell about it. But for the coach, could just look at me and could see it. Wow. Thank God for Mr. Mwaneki and his wife.
Amen.
And Coach Msonye. They were a group of people, and also Patrick Mwaula was one of the officers there. They really encouraged me, and they started giving me a program. So now I knew like what I'm supposed to do each and every day, and why should I do it, and what am I getting out of it.
Right.
So I now started running different things.
Yeah.
So after that, come in May, they were having provincial competitions for the Kenya prisons. So we had them at Nyayo Stadium. So after we learned, by that time I was doing 1500 and 3000 meters.
Sure.
What happened?
Sure.
I chanced, when I talk of 1500 meters, those are three laps and a half, and a 3/4 of a track. And for 3000 meters, it is 7 laps and a 1/3 of the track.
Right.
So when we were doing the competition, I chanced to run with the gold medalist of that same year.
Right.
in the world cross country. She was the first African woman to win the world cross country. Her name is Helen Chemngeno, and I thank God for her. I thank God for her.
Right.
Because yes, she shown the world that yes, even the Africans can do it.
Yeah. Also, she's the one who actually brought limelight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And it also encouraged me because I went to train with her in Kigali, and whenever we could do the training, I could keep up with her pace. So I just felt so good. When she won, I just felt like I was the one who won.
Wow. Wow.
And I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was so happy. And in fact, when we were in a residential camp, she could tell me, do you have anybody in Nairobi? Do you know anybody in Nairobi that I can go with you so that we can be training together? And I told her, I don't have anybody. I don't have any relatives in Nairobi. And I know no one. Yes. Those were the times that when you hear somebody say, oh, I spent my holiday in Nairobi, you wonder. You just wonder, how is this Nairobi? And how do people normally get to Nairobi? Because, you know, when I came to Nairobi my first time, we were just coming for, those school trips.
Yeah.
And we had to visit Bomas of Kenya, Museum,
Yeah.
Yeah, those
And
places.
that was big deal, eh?
It was such a big deal. Oh my God. I didn't even close my eyes that night. I had to stay, awake overnight
To see
'cause
everything.
I didn't want to miss the bus. I didn't want to miss the bus. Because if I could go, something could happen. If I go to sleep, I could oversleep, and then I wake up and I find, oh, people has already left,
And you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how I came to Nairobi my first time. Now my second time,
Right.
I had come now for the national cruise country.
Right.
And now from there, when I learn now this meet, I beaten her at the finish line.
The one that used to beat you?
Yes.
That one, the one who was fast.
I chanced to beat the gold medalist.
Hey,
It was such a deal. It was such a deal to me.
Yeah.
It was such a deal.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a photo finish, and they kept on learning it and learning it and learning it. Who has won? Who has won the race? And of course, if you come from behind, you definitely are the one who goes with it.
Yes.
So I was given number 1, and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Oh my God.
And since then,
I
never looked back. I never.
You decided now this is it.
This is it. And
So
this is the way.
So Catherine, what you're saying, you had such a passion to run.
I had a passion, and I'm telling you, even at now, I just thank God for it. And I always tell myself, as much as God can give me strength, of which I know He has given me, and He will continue giving me.
Yes.
As the Bible says in the book of Psalms 92,
Yes.
Somewhere in verse 12, it says, even them that love the Lord, even at their old age,
Yes. Yeah.
He shall establish them.
Yeah.
They shall flourish like the palm tree.
Right.
Have you ever seen the palm tree, brown? No, it
It's
remains
always
green.
flourishes,
It is always flourishes.
Yeah.
And they will continue bear fruit. So I always tell myself, as much as I have the strength to put my foot ahead of the other, like that, I'll continue doing it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because this is a gift, and I believe that God has given it to me with a reason, that I may glorify Him with it.
And before we even go now going to abroad and running and all that, do you hear? Let me say this again. That whenever you have something inside of you, the devil will fight it with all his might.
That's really true.
All the friends in school, the so-called friends, were trying to drag her behind, calling her mad. What was that intended for? To stop her. Because the enemy will do anything to stop somebody who is going places.
Sure.
He can see. When he knew that Jesus was about to come, what did he do? He sent for every boy child to be killed.
Yeah.
Why? Because he knew, Jesus, there is something that's about to happen. When Moses was about to happen, again, he sent for all the boy child to be killed. Why? Because he can sense. So when you're going through a fight, when you're going through a situation, it's because of what you carry that the enemy is trying to stop.
Yeah.
So you must be vigilant. You must rise up. And that's why I tell women, you cannot sleep like this feeling sorry for yourself. Wipe those tears and remove the mucus and face it and say, I can do it.
Yes.
I can do it. What can stop
Yes.
me? Do you see? And that's what Catherine had to do. She had to rise up and say, you know what? Keep laughing, keep mocking me. Go tell my mother I'm mad. Can you imagine to that extent? That's deep.
Yeah.
To go and tell your mother to look at you properly. Tamurorewega. I can imagine it even in vernacular. It sounds even worse.
Yeah. They said, it's like you know it.
Yeah.
It's like you are there.
Yeah.
They could say it in Kikuyu as I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
And they go like, "Kairetu gaka gaku ri, takarore wega." Karore wega. It's like my mom doesn't observe me closely. Okay, fine.
TVO. Kaka TVO.
Okay. Up to date, I normally ask myself, have I ever gone mad? The same village you go, they keep on seeing you, and they wonder. And I just leave it to them.
Because you see, they were being used of the enemy. But the good thing is that, Catherine, you didn't listen. Can you imagine how many people listen? There are so many people who succumb to that pressure, and they listen. And they listen to what the world is calling them.
Exactly.
And that stops them from becoming. So you rose and you started to run, and then you started to win. When you won this gold, now tell us from there.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Hey, this is powerful. So now you have your gold here, you've won.
My first gold, I won it in St. Denis, Greece. Not Greece, Paris, the first World Championship in the year 2003.
Okay.
But before then, I had won Boston Marathon twice, and I had won Chicago Marathon twice, and I had became second in New York. And in Chicago, one of the years, in the year 2001, I had made the world record.
Oh. From a village girl.
Yes.
Eh? From a village girl who didn't even know they are coaches.
And even before we get there,
Yeah.
what happened, as I used to run cross country. I loved cross country with my whole heart. But as much as I tried to make the Kenya team, because I was always dreaming to run for my country,
Right.
I really decided to wear that vest with Kenya at the front. You know, it feels so good.
Yes,
you know,
to
you
represent.
own it. You
Yeah.
own it. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, I couldn't figure how I'm going to get that. But
Right.
thank God that year that I made the cross country team in 1994, I was given a tracksuit, 2 tracksuit, and a singlet,
Right.
a pair of running kit, of which I used to run in the US. And whenever I could put on that singlet and I stood at the front of the race,
Yeah.
I could see now the Wasungu
Yes.
watching me.
Yes.
And boy, I took advantage of that.
Eh.
Yes. You know, this a Kenyan. You
Yeah.
know? Just
Yeah.
like the way now when the devil knows that you are the child of the Most High God.
Yes.
Anakuangalia with a attitude.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
yes. And you
Yes.
stand your ground.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
Yes, I'm Kenyan.
Yes, I'm a Kenyan.
Yeah.
Now when the gun goes,
Yeah.
no business. My business here is just running.
Yes.
And that's it. So
When I'm done, you will know the Kenyan that I am.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. So I ran with this singlet until it just grow old.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I won some races in the US, and in 1996 I remember very well being named like one of the best road racers in the world that year.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
at the same time, I was trying to make the Olympic team,
Yes.
of which I never did. That was my first attempt of the Olympics. So come year 1997, I made a choice of having my daughter. So I have a daughter who is 18.
Ah, you got her in 1997.
1997,
Uh-huh.
May 12th.
Right.
Yes, she
Wow.
just celebrated her birthday
Yes.
last Wednesday.
Yes.
So you know, that year I didn't learn as much. So come back in 1998, I went back for the cross country. I couldn't make for the world cross country. I couldn't make it in 1999. You know, in 1999, I kind of given up with the cross country.
Right.
And I said, well, it seems this is not my game. Why don't I change? And I had to make a move. And the move that I took was to try the marathon. I just went for something that I didn't know. I didn't even have a clue. Like, what do I have to go through, you know, in order to get to win that
Right.
marathon? So I didn't even have, you know, enough training, because I didn't even know how much it takes.
Right.
But yes, courageously, I decided to go for it. And I did it in Boston. My first Boston, I did it in 1999 on
Right.
17th of April. And I managed to be number 6. And being number 6, to me, I wasn't going there to win.
Yeah.
My interest was just to cross the finish line. I was determined to finish.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Because incidentally, very few people finish it.
Yes. Regardless of the time,
Yeah.
even if I could finish it with 3 hours,
Yeah.
yes, I could be counted
Yeah.
as a Boston Marathon
Finisher.
finisher.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I finished 6, I had my husband with me. The night before the race, we had to go out and watch the course. And when we were watching the course, he told me, like, when we went back to the room, he said, well, you know what? The route By the time you finish that, you have like 84 kilometers in your body. How do I do that? It's because, you know, marathon is 42.2 kilometers.
Yes.
And now he was kind of making fun out of it. Like, you know, this leg will take 42.2 and this other leg will take 42.2, and that's how when it end up, it get to 84.
Yes.
And I said, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You know, as we learned the race, it was good. I was doing very well up to 35 kilometers. And at 36, I started falling apart. At 40, I had to stop. And I could hear somebody somewhere seated along the road saying, Catherine, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. You know, immediately you stop, the lactic acid just starts building up and you can't be able to get back there. And even at 40, I was second.
Hey, with 2 to go.
With 2 to go.
Ah, no, Catherine, don't stop.
Well, when this man said, don't stop, he's a Kenyan. And I was like, how comes you are seated down and yet you're yelling at me, don't stop? How? I considered this man anajipenda sana, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, fine. I took my water. Then I started walking. I started jogging. I could not lift my leg. They were as heavy as I don't know what. Finally, my 2 kilometers, I did them in 17 minutes. My last 2 kilometers, I can't even remember whether I was crawling but let me tell you, I was running as a granny. If I were running, I was running as a granny.
Yeah. Oh my God. The last 2 kilometers.
The last 2 kilometers, it was too painful.
Yeah.
And finally, I managed. You know, at some point, I stopped and I could look behind and I could see now the number 3 coming way far. And I stopped. I was like, I acted like a traffic police. And I was like, just come on, come, just come, pass by. You know, don't worry about me. You know, just pass.
Just go.
Yeah. So I managed to finish number 6. And the number 5, just, you know, just put her feet
ahead of yours.
Ahead of me, just by, I don't know whether a microsecond or whatever, I don't know. But she just managed.
Yeah.
I could not.
So you came out number 6.
I came out number 6. That's how I landed to number 6.
Right.
Yeah. But the whole race, I ran with this Ethiopian lady up to 35. Then from 35 kilometers, she started picking her pace.
Right.
And by that time, I was trying to run and I felt like, oh, my body have got enough of it. And I struggled and I struggled and I struggled. Come 40, I hit the wall. Yeah.
So tell me, so how did you pick up yourself from there to now
From
do
there,
another?
From there, that very night, you know what? When we went to the recovery room, it started all over from there. You know, I was so dehydrated. I could not even get the sample. It took me 4 hours to get a urine sample for drug testing. 4 hours. So by the time I get out of the drug test room, everybody was heading to the post-party dinner. I went there with my tracksuit. Yes, I didn't even have time to go back to my room and shower and all that.
Right.
So I just refreshed just a bit, but in my tracksuit. But that very night, I remember something woke me up at 3. There was this voice, and very strong, in my heart. Something was telling Catherine, Catherine, you know what? Even if this race is going to be repeated tomorrow, there is no way you can be, beyond number 3.
My God.
There is no way you go beyond number
3. Even if it's repeated tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
With all my lactic acid, with all the pains, I wish you could see people, walking after the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Some walk like, they don't go like this. They will from the front.
Reverse.
The way you come down the stairs,
Yes.
you go like, live fast. Because the quads are totally beaten up.
Yes. My daughter, my spiritual daughter ran the other day in Dallas, so I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
really hurts.
impossible to walk
The
after that.
quads, oh my God.
Yeah.
They were hurting. But I didn't even see that. I didn't even feel it.
Right.
But I could hear this strong voice saying that, yes, Catherine, even if you do it tomorrow, you can't go beyond number 3. And I took it and I said, yes, I'll do it again. So in the morning when we went for breakfast,
Yeah.
I had my coach. He's a Moroccan. And but
Now
based
you
in the
you,
US.
you didn't even tell us how now you got to understand all their coaches.
Yeah. I came to meet Mr. Mwaneki and his wife.
Yes.
And he was coaching now the prison team together with Mr. Musonyi for the Nyeri prison.
Right.
Then from there, I kept on meeting different coaches. So until now, the time that I went to US,
Yeah.
I got a manager.
Right.
And now this
Hey,
coach.
now the levels, are you hearing it? Levels have shifted. Now, Catherine, you even have a manager.
Yes.
From Nyeri, who you are just doing up and down by yourself. Now there's a manager.
Yes, there is a manager.
Eh.
Her name is Lisa Basta.
She's even not sounding very African.
She's not, yes.
Oh.
She's an American.
Yes.
But we are just like sisters. I knew her when she was 37 years.
Right.
And by that time I was 22.
Right.
Yeah.
So now she became your manager?
She became my manager
Uh-huh.
because that was her career by then.
Yes.
And we kept on working together. So now for her work is just to look for races, organize how I'm going to travel and everything. I don't have to worry about how am I going to travel, which race am I going to run. So that's her work.
Yeah.
Mine is just to train and get ready for the race. Yeah.
Okay. So now here you are now in the US.
Now there, when we woke up, my coach now came, who was her husband, and he asked me, Catherine, there is something I want to know from you. Do you think you're going to run a marathon again? And I said, yes, why not? He went like, really? And I asked him, why do you have to say so? And he said, I didn't expect that from you. And I asked him, why? Because so many marathoners, the debuters, most of them normally go like, I'll never do it again. Yeah.
After they're done.
Yeah, after they're done,
Yeah.
they normally say, because of the pains and all that,
Right.
they go like, I'll never do it again.
Right.
But it didn't get out of my mouth.
You said you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Little did he know, I had that voice at 3 a.m., Yeah.
Telling you that even if you were to repeat
Yeah,
tomorrow.
in fact, I repeated the same ones. I told him, even if we are going to do it today, I can't go beyond number 3. And what was the proof of that?
Yeah.
Come the following year, it was the year 2000. I won the Boston Marathon for my first time.
Amen.
And not
Without limits.